Yeah.
Good evening, everyone.
Oh,
Regular session for February 26, 2025. We'll call the meeting to order at 5:15. And would you all please rise if you're able and join us for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
oh, sorry, word word.
Again, welcome. It's nice to see you all. Mr. Zerlo, would you please
Pastime. Mr. Mazzaio.
Here.
Mr. Hall.
Here.
Mr. Henry.
Here.
Mr. Lemoy.
Here.
Mr. Kretzer.
Here.
Mr. Courier.
Here.
Mr. Randall.
Here.
Mr. Timmons.
Here.
Ms. Waldron.
Here.
That was one.
Excellent, thank you. All legislators have received a copy of the minutes of February 12th, 2025 regular session. If there's no deletions, corrections, or additions, I'll accept a motion for motion by Legislator Kretzer, second by Legislator Mazzaio. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I will now recognize members of the audience who wish to share their thoughts and concerns with the legislature. Please raise your hand if you wish to be recognized to speak. You're going to speak, ma'am? Okay. And you're, okay, CSEA?
No.
So we have, how many, we have two speaking in your group?
She's not CSEA.
Sorry.
Just, okay. All right, so we have two speaking CSEA, all right? Who would like to go first? Any preference? Anybody care? Go ahead. 2 minutes. State your name and address for the record, please. And address the chair.
Jennifer Jewett, Champlain, New York. Thank you, everybody, so very much. You have no idea how much this means to me that you are here. I want to say to the legislature, when was the last time you packed this place?
A month ago.
For good reason.
For a good reason. These people want a dog tether law in Clinton County. It's undeniable. We were denied a public hearing. We brought the public hearing to you. Osable, Canandaigua, Dutchess County, Essex County, Hempstead, Hudson, New York City, Niagara Falls, North Hempstead, Ossining, Port Chester, Suffolk County, Ulster County, the Village of Champlain, Westchester County, New York, already have dog tether laws in place in New York. We are surrounded by tether laws. The state of Vermont, Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, all of the surrounding states, all around New York, currently have statewide dog tether laws. It's time to admit it's our turn, and it's time to stop stalling progress. Tonight marks 1 year since I began coming to meetings at the Clinton County Legislature. I came here in February 28, 2024, to ask our legislators to create a dog tether law like so many similar laws all over the country. Tonight, this is my 32nd legislature meeting, and frankly, you guys have done nothing to fix the 24/7 dog tethering problem in Clinton County. This week, I looked at a video taken last winter, a video of the German Shepherd, 1.5-year-old puppy, chained up in the freezing rain in Moors. It made me so angry, even today, especially since you haven't done a single thing except stall our efforts all year long. Why are we here? I'm still here because I'm not abandoning the dogs that happen to live in Altona, Beekmantown, Shazy, Clinton, Ellenburg, and Moores. We should have equal treatment across the county, no matter what town somebody lives in. The Beekmantown Board voted April 15th to create a town-wide law. That was last year. The entire board voted. It has been 11 months and their town supervisor hasn't done one single thing as a board member or a town supervisor to follow through and create that law. This is exactly what will happen if the law is left up to the towns. Little to no movement, no sense of urgency, more stalling, and the towns that need it the most won't create a law at all. They won't do a single thing, and we know that's what some of you would like. You went from telling people the towns don't want it to now saying we're going to leave it up to the towns. This is all by design, so you don't have to do anything. We aren't giving up. We want one county-wide dog tether law, just like so many around the country, not 17 laws within the county that will only confuse law enforcement and make it harder to enforce. You know as well as we do that having 17 separate laws makes no sense whatsoever. If you don't want to force the towns to enforce it, allow the Sheriff's Department to take over as animal control the way you explored in 2022.
Your time's coming to an end.
I'm almost done.
Okay.
That's what we want anyway. Uniformed officers that are well-trained and no more excuses that they don't know what they're doing. Please stop the games and the stalling. Our supporter group is getting larger by the day. Thank you.
Thank you. CSEA?
So she's not from
What? Did I miss something?
This young lady is not from CSEA. So she's not able to speak on it.
Go right ahead. Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. We'll bring you back.
Betty Lou LaJoy. I'm 75 because of January. I grew up in the town of Plattsburgh, and we had a dog on a runner, but we let him in, you know, whenever he needed to come in. So it's not just the United States that has passed many laws that have stopped 24/7. It's also the entire world. There have been many countries that have stopped it. I have a graduate degree in public health. I was the state director of NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, in the state of Virginia. In Plattsburgh, or Clinton County, I was one of the founding members of NAMI here. So I spent a lot of time in mental health. The United Nations actually created a task force looking into animal cruelty and how it affects children. The World Health Organization has looked into the problem of overpopulation of animals. Like in many cases, dogs have been, they shoot dogs to try to control overpopulation. All of this affects children. It takes away their empathy, and everybody knows that serial killers and other people that do cruel things to people have done cruel things to animals. We've known that for years. And the United Nations did a study on that. So we know that is true. And the United Nations is now, again, they've developed a committee where they are looking into and have already established that it does lead to empathy, that we are paid in our society for this cruelty to animals, because people then are now becoming more violent when they witness animal cruelty. And tethering a dog, or any animal in my opinion, for 24/7 on a short chain is cruel. So we're paying for it in our criminal justice system. We're paying for it for mental health care. And they even found out that it affects children physically when they become adults and as children. So it's costing us money. And again, it's a problem that's being looked at the world over, not just the United States, not just Clinton County. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. One more speaker on the dog topic.
Another one over here too.
And she's not on the
Do
dog.
you want to speak?
No, no, no,
On the
okay.
dog topic?
No, she's not on the
Two
dog.
more.
I don't think that.
She's not on the dog.
It's all right.
I'm not about animal cruelty, I'm about elderly cruelty. I think that I want the legislature to issue a law or local law, whatever you have to do, first for property taxes. First, the thing you should be is you're a widow or a widower. The second thing, if you're on Social Security. And third, if your income is on the poverty edge. And the fourth thing, if you're, how many years you've been in the house, and if you have reached a certain age. And those last three, if you're the poverty level, the age, and the years in the house, that's your determination. But I think you're forgotten people like me. You're on Social Security and you're a widow, and the assessments rise. I know it's 100% from the state mandate, and but the increase the assessment, and even if you lower the rate the next year, you still your coffers are overflowing. I think that somebody should do. We should have a local law if it needs, or a county-wide law, whatever. I think for helping us. I think we're the forgotten generation.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
You'll be glad to hear, however, that your property taxes went down this year, as did your tax levy. Tax
Oh, yeah.
levy
But
both went down.
yes,
Yes, ma'am, I'm just letting you know.
I mean,
They
it's
both
all,
went down.
it's all,
Yes, ma'am.
you know.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
My name's Jessie Renee. I live at 1750 State Route 3, Morrisonville, New York. Thank you for everyone for coming tonight. I am here primarily because I know some of you. I've grown up with some of you. And my expectation of, I guess, legislators is just a little bit more than what I've seen. And I know you have a tough job. I know that you have to represent all kinds of people in your towns. I know that there's all kinds of different viewpoints, especially in the North Country. We're dealing with a lot of people who maybe have experienced a lot of different kinds of worldly things, like our lady that just spoke, who seems fairly educated. And then we have people who have never left their neighborhood or their town, or understand that the way that they show love to animals might not be the best care. So your job as legislators, I would imagine, is to be the leaders of your constituents, to provide education, and to understand that the people that would be responsible for enforcing this law, if you were to support it, want it. They want this law. You, sitting here, wouldn't even be the ones having to enforce it. You're creating it as leaders of our community to show that this is the best thing for our animals. And if people were to come at you for that, which I highly doubt, you'd have as many people in this room saying, please, let me tether my animal 24/7. Where are they? I don't see them. So stop saying you're representing a population of people, please, that we do not see. I'm not saying they're not there. Jennifer has personally had to handle a lot of them attacking her for the last year, saying there's better things to work on. I absolutely agree there's other things to work on. So can we please get this through? Can we please get this passed so we can move on? Because this is something that is pretty simple in my eyes. Animal cruelty equates to human cruelty. The lack of empathy to watch an animal out in sub-zero temperatures and justify it by saying, but I love that dog. Well then, sir or ma'am, you need to be taught what love looks like. Because there's a lot of men that give their life to say they love them too. And we don't sit here and say, but they love them. So let's stop making excuses as to why you guys who have the power, all of you sitting here, have the power. And by the way, can we once get some faith and hope? We have to watch national politics all day long with people making decisions we don't understand. Can we please get some hope in this room that you guys can stand up and do the right thing and tell the minority of your constituents that, listen, this makes sense. 80% of the county says yes, 80%. If you want your votes, please vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Next topic. CSEA, I believe. No? Okay. Thank you all for your input. Committee reports. I will now go to committee reports. I'll call upon the chairperson of the committee in now without the order by committee starting. Very good, thank you. Children and Family Services Legislative Hurry. Thank you. Economic Development and County Operations Legislator Waldron.
Mr. Chairman, the Economic Development and County Operations Committee has not met since the last regular session. The next Economic Development and County Operations Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, March 12th at 4 p.m.
Thank you. Finance Legislator Timmons.
Good job, by the way. Good job.
Nice meeting you.
Good job.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I hope they do something about it. I hope so too.
Legislator Desire.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Health Committee has not met since the last regular session, and that Health Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, March 5th at 4 p.m. End of report.
Thank you. Human Services Legislator Randall.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Human Services Committee has not met since the last regular session. The next Human Services Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Tuesday, March 4th at 4 p.m.
Very good, thank you. And Personnel, the Personnel Committee has not met since its last regular session. The next Personnel Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for March 3rd at 5 p.m. Plattsburgh International Airport, Legislator Hall.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Plattsburgh International Airport Committee met earlier. Chris Craig, the airport director, discussed several resolutions, including authorizing lease agreement with Micro Bird US Incorporated and authorizing contract with amendment with Belair Aviation Incorporated. Resolutions 130 through 139 have been placed on the agenda upon the recommendation of the committee. The next Plattsburgh International Airport Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, March 26th at 4 p.m. End of report.
Thank you, sir. Public Safety Committee, Legislator Casson.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, Public Safety Committee has not met since the last regular session. Resolution number 145 underway for Rule 13.2 was pulled and placed on the agenda on the recommendation of the committee. The next Public Safety Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Monday, March 3rd at 3:30 p.m. On a personal note, I went up yesterday to the Roxham Road just to check on the footprints in the snow, and I saw maybe evidence of one footprint through there, so I would think that Roxham Road is still not being used for any great purposes for people heading north. And that's the end of my report.
Very good, thank you. Transportation, Legislator Kretzer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Transportation Committee has not met since the last regular session. The Transportation Committee is tentatively scheduled for Monday, March 10th at 5:15 p.m. and that's it for the report.
Very good, thank you. Liaison report, Board of Health, Legislator LeBlanc.
No report. Thank you, sir.
Chamber of Commerce, Legislator Kretzer.
No report.
Clinton Community College, Legislator Waldron.
No report.
Community Services Board, Legislator Castlein.
The Community Services Board was meeting at 4 p.m. tonight, so I was able to be there and monitor it. So I'll have a report next
Very good.
meeting.
Cooperative Extension.
No report.
Thank you, Legislator Timmons. Discipline review, grievance, nothing. Intercounty, Legislator Randall.
No, we have not met since Lewis County. I'll let you know when the next one is coming up.
Okay.
We did,
This morning.
on your behalf,
Thank you.
joint
Okay.
Adirondack and Western.
I appreciate that. Thank
You
you.
were well represented.
LC.
Appreciate it.
LCLG Regional Planning Board, Legislator Kretzer or Randall. Soil and Water legislators preside attendance.
I do have a small report. Recent federal funding pauses have had some effect on our local USDA Natural Resource Conservation Service office. District Conservationist Patricia LaValle reported at our meeting, that was last Thursday, that the statewide, some of the probationary employees were laid off. She actually told us 7 people in her office were discharged. Of some promotions were also delayed. Locally, our office is still understaffed, she told us. Payments for some of the conservation programs have been delayed, but on 2/21, the USDA did approve payments on existing Inflation Reduction Act contracts. However, the NRCS is not authorized to make any new contracts using the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act funds, so they're locked up. Federal grant funding for the Lake Champlain Basin program has been delayed. The district received $50,000 grant for ag engineering that is currently also on hold. The ash tree management grant, we still have not received any documentation or contract on that, so that money is, as far as we know, frozen. On a more positive note, the Soil Water Conservation District has been awarded a grant by the New York State Department of Ags and Markets. We were awarded a CAFO EMP grant, so it's a concentrated animal feeding operation enhanced nutrient and methane management program to support the farm project aimed at enhancing nutrient management and soil health. The grant funding is $810,560, and the total project is $1,094,775. It is actually in the town of Peru, so those awards and those funds will enable the farm to adopt best management practices such as soil separation facilities, 3-phase power expansion, as well as included cover cropping, manure injection, both proven strategies for improving our soil health, reducing erosion, and increasing organic matter. These practices are vital for long-term environmental and agricultural sustainability here in Clinton County and helping farmers maintain productivity while reducing their environmental impact. That money is still coming as of today for that $1 million project. So, but the rest of the money, it appears to be locked up or stopped or frozen, whatever language you want to use. So stay tuned.
Very good.
Thank you.
Workforce Development Board, Legislator Perrier.
No report.
Staff reports, Ms. Diller.
No report.
Mr. Zerlo, would you like an executive session?
Yeah, that might have, Jim. I would request a brief executive session prior to waiver of Rule 13.2 to discuss a matter of collective negotiations. For those of you who were unable to attend your association's legislative conference, we returned today, this morning. Very good conference, many informative workshops. We attended a very nice function at the state capitol by the governor, where she celebrated the association's 100th anniversary. Nice function, and there was a lot of discussion on the federal budget and what potential impacts the federal budget would have on the state government, which would in turn have an impact on local governments, especially the Medicaid cap. As you know, our Medicaid bill is fixed, but as more pressure gets placed on the state, we're very nervous that cap could be altered and cost us many millions of dollars. So we remain hopeful. We're working hard, but that was the main themes of the conference.
I think the best way to do that is we'll do this executive session now before we go to the resolutions. Then we'll run through the resolutions. If rather than the resolutions, executive session.
Yeah, and there's several people in the audience. Maybe it's easier for us
Yeah.
to go in the back.
Yeah, we can go in there. You all stay right here. We're just going to adjourn in there for an executive session. It'll probably be 10 minutes.
Not even.
Not even 10 minutes. So it won't be long.
So we need a motion in a second.
Yeah, I have a motion. I have a second. Any discussion?
Yes, it's the purposes of discussing a matter of collective negotiation.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We're going to executive session. May I have a motion to re-enter, regular session. Motion by legislator Pizarro, second by legislator Lemoyne. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We are now in regular session. Before voting on the resolutions, I want to note that the majority of the resolutions have been thoroughly discussed by the appropriate committees, and the legislature is taking action tonight, based in large part on the recommendation of those committees. Mr. Zerlo, would you please read the titles of the resolutions to be acted upon? Sir.
Resolution 130, authorizing the purchasing agent to solicit bids for the reconstruction of the passenger boarding bridge Gate 4 design and construction project, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, Legislator Hall. Second, Legislator Bazai. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 131, authorizing the purchasing agent to solicit bids for airport-wide access gate control and security upgrades Phase 1 construction project, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, Legislator Hall. Second, Legislator Perrier. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 132, authorizing the purchasing agent to solicit bids for the de-icing pad and fluid collection system, Phase 1, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, Legislator Hall. Second, Legislator Timmons. Discussion.
Yes, Chairman, I just got a text from your airport director, those of you on the committee. The de-icing pad is a containment pad with the tanks that periodically are pumped down, so there's the answer to the question. All in favor?
Any further discussion questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 133, amending resolution number 1021 dated November 25, 2024, titled authorizing lease agreement with Hart Aerospace LLC, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, Legislator Hall. Second, Legislator Waldron. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Resolution number 134, authorizing the purchasing agent to solicit a request for proposals for an airport jet bridge maintenance and repair contract, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, Legislator Hall. Second, Legislator Bazzaia. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 135, authorizing contract with Oxford Airport Technical Services for jet bridge repair services, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, Legislator Hall. Second, Legislator Perrier. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 136, authorizing contract with MRB Group for independent fee estimate services, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, Legislator Hall. Second, Legislator Timmons. Discussion.
Yes, Chairman, this was discussed in committee. This is a requirement of the FAA. As they fund 5% of these projects, they require a review of our engineering estimates before they pay the bill. The good part is they pay 95% of the independent fee estimate.
Very good. Any further discussion, questions? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 137, authorizing New York State Department of Transportation master contract for grants. Contract number K007630, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, Legislator Hall. Second, Legislator Waldron. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 138, authorizing lease amendment with Microbird US Incorporated, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, Legislator Hall. Second, Legislator Bazzaia. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 139, authorizing contract amendment with Volair Aviation Incorporated, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, Legislator Hall. Second, Legislator Perrier. Discussion.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
the committee has made a recommendation in this contract. There's nothing wrong with it.
In the resolution.
In the resolution, to authorize county administrator to make some changes that would have to be taken out of there. But
Solely technical changes. It does not alter neither the intent or the numbers included. It just
Housekeeping.
housekeeping, and it makes it far clearer to understand.
So I want everybody to make sure they understand.
Anything further to add to that? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 140, authorizing the deputy county treasurer to establish appropriation and corresponding revenue for the Child Advocacy Center Grant Program, District Attorney's Office.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Castine. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 141, authorizing the Deputy County Treasurer to adjust appropriation and corresponding revenue for the dislocated worker and adult activities grants, employment, and training.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Perrier. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 142, authorizing the Deputy County Treasurer to establish appropriation and corresponding revenue for the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act grant, employment, and training.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Perrier. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 143, authorizing the Deputy County Treasurer to increase appropriation and corresponding revenue for insurance reimbursement, Sheriff's Department.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Castine. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
I'll need a motion to waive Rule 13.2. I have a motion by legislator Randall, second by legislator Timmons. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. 13.2.
Resolution number 144, authorizing the chairperson to execute an agreement by and between County of Clinton and CSEA Local 1000, AFS CME, AFL CIO, Clinton County Units 6450 and 6466 of Local 884 personnel.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Timmons. Any discussion?
Yes, Chairman, I just would like to point out, we have been keeping this body up to date, Jackie, Kim, and I. And I'd just like to let everybody know that the union leadership is amongst us this evening, and I would like to give every one of them kudos. While we don't agree on every issue every time, I think that the relationship that your management team happens with your labor leadership is outstanding, and we all have a common goal. So Cindy and everybody, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Anything from, yes, sir?
I want to second what Mike said too, so thank you CSEA for negotiating with our staff, and we're coming to a great agreement.
Very good. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 145, supporting New York State correction officers and calling for the elimination of humane alternatives to long-term solitary confinement HALT Act regulations. Legislature.
Mr. Perrier, 5-5.
Got it.
Any discussion on 5-5? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Chairman.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, I
The
was.
point, it's been in effect for a few years now. It's created all kinds of issues within the Department of Corrections, especially with staff and inmates as well. Assaults on inmates are up over 80%. Assault on staff is almost 40% more. They're taking away a lot of the tools that professional departments have used for years to deal with them. Average stay for solitary confinement or an incident is 3 days. Extenuating circumstances, excuse me, for up to 15 days. That means if an officer or staff member or inmate gets stabbed, most are going to get 15 days. It's not enough deterrent to keep that population in check. There's been, again, accounts, interviews on even the inmates, and the inmates, the incarcerated persons now, they change that. Feel that they're not as safe as they used to be before the HALT Act was there. So I want to thank the county legislature for bringing this up and for passing this resolution as it passed.
Thank you. Anything to add? To review again, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, we don't have another executive session to go into, do we?
No.
I did miss anything?
No.
All right. If there's nothing further, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting. Motion by legislator Perrier this time. Second by legislator Hall. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We are adjourned.